Forget about the AP polls. Forget about the coaches' polls or public opinion. We have the real Big Ten power rankings, 1 through 18, right here. Locked on Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked on Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked on Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman. 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer. I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that free subscribe button. That way you never miss a single episode. We're here every day. And if you could share, follow, and like, that would be great as well. And you could hype YouTube videos as well. So 1 through 18, where's your team at here in the Big Ten? Let's get to it, and then we'll take a quick peek at what's coming up for our weekend programming later on. But right now, if you are on audio, Spotify or Apple, no problem. I'll put this full screen for video people, but I'll describe what's going on. And I'm going to put it up here with our power rankings. There you have the first 10 unveiled right off the top. Ohio State, they've been number one. They're the number one team in the country. I'm not going to move them coming off the bye week. They got the number 2 scoring defense in the country. They only give up 5 points a game. And I think they've got a tough road test at Washington, a team that could score a lot of points. So I think this is a very interesting game. I know we're all going to pay a lot of attention to the whiteout and your favorite team in the Big Ten as well, but this one bears watching. It'll be at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on CBS. Still got Oregon at number 2. Not going to change that. I think they're putting everything together nicely. Dante Moore had his 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers against Oregon State. Now they go to Happy Valley for the whiteout that we can't wait for. All right, that's going to be a big, big game. Big game. Here's our first big mover in the poll. I got Indiana, moving them up to number 3, moving up a couple of spaces. They were 5. It was Penn State 3, Illinois 4, Indiana 5. Well, Indiana so impressed me on all phases of the game against Illinois and their 63-10 blow. And look, Illinois was 9th in the country, and Indiana put the hurting on them. And Fernando Mendoza, with his 5 touchdown passes, 2 games in a row, I might add, is now your leading odds maker. Vegas thinks he's winning the Heisman. Yeah, out of Indiana. How about that? So I got Indiana moving up to 3. That means I had to move Penn State down 1, even though they're coming off a bye. I don't like to penalize teams for not playing, but we had to squeeze them in somewhere. And they got the Villanova game last week, the bye this week, getting ready for the Oregon Ducks. I have mentioned numerous times on our podcast, I'm a little concerned about Drew Aller's completion rate in these last 2 cupcakes they played. He was in the mid-50s. Maybe it was just not playing up to the level of competition. I don't know, but Penn State's going to have a quick ramp up against the Oregon Ducks once they start playing that game. I got the Washington Huskies moving up a spot to number 5 after their Apple Cup win, and all they do is score. Coleman and Boston, tons of weapons. They could have the greatest punter in the world. We'll never know it because he's never on the field. They just score. They're a fun team to watch. Right behind them at number 6, another team that scores a lot, puts up a lot of yards. I think 3 of the 4 games, they've had at least 460 yards of offense. They had 500 yards of offense last week. I got the USC Trojans coming at number 6. And I'm sad that Washington and USC don't play each other this year because those are 2 explosive offenses. There they are, 5-6 in our power rankings. I got Michigan sitting at number 7. That's where they were last week when they beat Central Michigan 63-3. They go on the road. They win at Nebraska. That's a good quality win, 30-27. Now they got a bye week before they take on a reeling Wisconsin team. That's coming up next. At number 8, I got the Maryland Terps. They're big movers in the poll. In fact, they've moved up 3. Yeah, Iowa and Maryland are my biggest movers this week at +3. So, yeah, Iowa looks like Mark Gronowski at quarterback is finally starting to pass for some yardage. which literally he wasn't doing the first few games. Kane Weegan, the 100-yard kickoff return. They always are good on special teams. They're always good on defense, and their offense is clicking. I mean, they scored 38 points against Rutgers. So they're putting some points up. And so I got Iowa sitting at number 10, right behind Nebraska, 9-10, rounding out our top 10. Let's now look at the best of the rest and see where we're at here. I don't like to say the worst or the bottom tier or anything like that because, like I said, we're rooting for everybody. Illinois, the biggest drop, 7 spaces. Yeah, I had them at 4. They're at 11. After that loss to Indiana, what am I supposed to do? 63-10. Nothing worked. Offense, defense, special teams. I had to drop them. We'll see where they are when they take on USC next. And that's going to tell me a lot about how they're able to bounce back or not bounce back for the Brett Bielema company. At number 12, I got Michigan State. I dropped them 2, although I thought that was a pretty good effort at the Coliseum late Saturday night against USC. They made that game close twice. They got back in it in the second half when I think USC thought this thing was a wrap. So Aiden Childs, it was a homecoming for him. He's from Long Beach, got to play in front of friends and family, and they couldn't quite come up with the win. But look, I think there's some good things happening at Michigan State. I've got Rutgers at number 13. I did drop them 1 after their loss to Iowa. They still impress me. They've scored 167 points in their 4 games, but not enough to beat Iowa last Friday night. Minnesota, I got a number 14. Moved them up 1. They didn't play. They had a bye. Coming up that loss to Cal a couple of weeks ago. They host Rutgers next. I moved them up because I was moving other people around. Same thing with Purdue, a couple of losses, but Purdue's schedule, man, they played USC and then they played Notre Dame. They get a bye. Then they'll have Illinois. Illinois will be coming off its run of Indiana and then USC. Purdue, you remember, had an overtime game against Illinois last year. They lost, but it was 50-49. Going to be curious to see how that goes. Wisconsin, I've dropped them. They were already kind of low, so I only dropped them 2, but the wheels have fallen off. Luke Fickell's in trouble, I think. And they got a 2-game losing streak, Alabama and Maryland. And their next 7 games, they got 8 games left. Their next 7 games are absolutely brutal. It's possible Wisconsin doesn't win anymore. Maybe. Hate to think it. And then we rounded out with Northwestern. They had their loss to Oregon and then a bye week, and they got UCLA next. UCLA sitting there at number 18. They had a bye also after an 0-3 start and looking for a fresh start as they fired Deshaun Foster. And Tim Skipper's ready to go. He had that bye week to get ready. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe UCLA and Northwestern can flip here on our power rankings for next week. You never know. So that's a look. How do we do? There's always agreement and disagreement on all this. Where's your favorite team on this list? Let us know how we did in the comments section. And then if you could share this with somebody too, that'd be cool. Say, hey, look what this guy did. Do you agree or disagree? Would love you if you could do that. We're here every day. And of course, all things Big Ten, all 18 teams. Hit that free subscribe button down below. That way you'll never miss a single episode. You can join the club, be with us forever with our podcast. And don't forget, in addition to the video podcast, we are on Apple and Spotify as well, if you like audio only. Again, subscribe, share, like, and follow. Don't forget, we have a website, talkbig10.com. That's with the number 10. And also, you can check out all of our podcasts on that website and also links for school merchandise. You want some shirts, t-shirts, and hats, all right there. All right, I'm going to give you the rundown on what we are going to plan to do here this weekend and how you can be involved directly here as we continue on Locked On Big Ten. Mazda cars are for those who choose to do more than simply move. They follow what moves them every time they drive. And that's what makes Mazda stand out. They go beyond safety and style, although they have that, and performance. Certainly, they're big on safety. They focus on detail, just like an athlete does, getting ready for a game. They got the metallic accents, the hand-stitched Napa leather. You notice it as soon as you get behind the wheel, and whether it's a quick drive to the grocery store or to practice or maybe a long weekend trip, you'll notice it with the quality. And it's the small details that make the big plays in sports. And just like there's more to every player, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. So Mazda, move and be moved. Do you know where all your finances are? Monarch Money can help you. You got bank apps, you got credit cards, maybe some investments, 401k. Pull it all together with Monarch Money. Monarch Money is for people who are really busy but have been meaning to get their finances organized, but they just haven't had time to do it. This is great. Whether you put it all in one place, you can pull your spouse's finances together with yours, your significant other, all in one place. Because when you're organized, you see the big picture. That way, you're not leaving money on the table anymore. You figure out your money being used the best way possible. See where you're spending maybe too much money. All that right there in a very easy app. Don't let this financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONCollege. We love watching games because they're exciting. They get more exciting with FanDuel, especially the NFL. That's right. Right now, new customers, got a can't miss offer for you here. New customers can bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So many things: point spreads, point totals for the games, player props, futures, parlays, all very easy to find on the app, and the paybacks are quick when you win too. So, are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Thanks for checking us out here at Locked On Big Ten. We always appreciate you, every dayers, especially each and every day. All right, let me tell you what we got going on this weekend. You know, we're here every day, multiple podcasts every day. But on Saturdays, after the biggest games, we go live. That way I get your real-time reaction in the comment section, and you get my unfiltered, immediate reaction to the game. And this week, it's a no-brainer. We're going to follow the Oregon-Penn State game, the whiteout game. 7:30 Eastern, NBC is when the game is, Eastern time. As soon as it's over, as soon as the winning coach does the on-field interview, we'll come on live. You can join us. Mark your calendar for it. Can't wait to reach out to you, and vice versa. So that game will probably end around 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Pacific, and we'll go on live after that. So mark your calendar. We'll be there for you. In the meantime, many ways for you to interact with this podcast as we get ready for the big weekend. There's Twitter or X at TalkBig10, number 10. There's our website, talkbig10.com with the number 10. Podcasts and school merchandise there. Plus, if you could subscribe before you go, that would be great. It's free. That way you'll never miss another episode. And go ahead and follow this podcast right now on your favorite podcast app, too. That way you'll never miss an episode. Want to also tell you that our friends at Locked On and also Fire TV getting together for college football fans and presenting the College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson and former college star Jesse Holley, and then all of our Locked On experts all together, previewing all the games right there in a way that only Locked On could do. So catch the College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season only on Fire TV. That'll do it for us, and I can't wait until we talk again tomorrow, getting closer to this big weekend. We'll see you then. Tell your friends about us in the meantime. For Locked On Big Ten, I'm Craig Sheeman. We'll talk to you then.